War room assemble. Put down your markers today, because our job won't end with just drawing lines. The market is currently like a minefield. Wherever you step, it explodes. Everyone tells you support broken, resistance hit, but no one shows you where the money is actually hiding. Today, we level up. In this video, we are going to X-ray the market. I have some critical institutional data from CoinGlass right here. We won't just look at price, we will look at liquidation heat maps, open interest, and long/short ratios. We are following the footprints of the whales. We have three fronts. First, Bitcoin, BTC. Where is the big trap in the big picture? Then, Avalanche, AVAX. Is the money inside increasing or fleeing? And finally, Litecoin, LTC. What is it silently preparing for? You might not like what you see, but the truth hurts. If you are ready, I'm putting the data sets on the table. The operation starts now. Before we deploy the data, let's establish the rules of engagement. Soldiers, listen carefully. What you are about to see is strategic intelligence, not financial advice. I show you the map, the minefields, and the liquidity traps, but the finger pulling the trigger is yours. This is a battlefield. Manage your risk, protect your capital, and do your own research. Now that the rules are clear, let's open the first file. We start with the general of this market, Bitcoin, BTC. We are not just looking at candles, we are looking for the truth. First, I need the technical chart to see the structure, and then the liquidation heat map to see where the easy money is waiting. Send the Bitcoin intel now. First, let's look at the daily chart. Soldiers, I will be direct. The shield is cracked. That black rising trend line, which has protected us for months, has been breached. Price is currently trading at $89,741, clearly below the line. We also lost the beige safe zone, $92,000, which is now acting as a heavy concrete ceiling above our heads. If you look closely, I have drawn a white horizontal line around the $85,000 region. Technically, since the trend is broken, gravity is pulling us toward that white line. That is the next logical support. Now, let's zoom in to the 4-hour chart to see if this is just a fake out. Unfortunately, the structure suggests weakness. Look at how the price fell through the trend line and is now struggling to get back up. Every time it tries to rally, it gets rejected. We are trading at $89,723, trapped below the resistance. The chart tells us the technical damage is done. The bears are in control of the trend right now. Okay, the chart says down, but does the data agree? Why are they pushing the price down? Are they hunting for stops? To understand this, we need to see where the liquidation pools are hiding. Is there a massive pile of money waiting at that $85,000 white line? Or is there a trap above? Let's open the CoinGlass liquidation heat map for Bitcoin and find the target. Technical said broken. Now let's see why. I opened the 3-month liquidation heat map to see the big picture. Look at this screen carefully. Do you see those bright yellow lines? Right now, we are eating through the liquidity at $89,000 to $90,000, but looks slightly lower. There is a dense, bright yellow cluster waiting exactly at $84,000 to $85,000. Remember that white line I drew on the chart earlier? The data confirms it. The market maker is dragging the price down to grab that fresh fuel at $85,000. That is the magnet. Until that yellow line is cleared, the pressure remains down. Now let's look at the engine room. The open interest. This chart shows us how much leverage, money, is in the market. Notice something important. The green mountain, money, is collapsing alongside the yellow line, price. What does this mean? It means longs are dying. If the price was dropping but the green area was rising, that would be aggressive shorting, bear attack. But here, the money is leaving. This is a long squeeze, or capitulation. The market is flushing out the gamblers. While painful, this is actually necessary for a bottom. We need this green mountain to flatten out before we can rise again. So, the Bitcoin verdict is clear, structure broken, leverage being flushed, magnet at $85,000. But while Bitcoin bleeds, what are the altcoins doing? Are they holding up or are they being slaughtered? Let's move to the second front. I want to see the status of Avalanche, AVAX. Is there any smart money defending it? Send the AVAX price chart and the long/short ratio data immediately. Now, we move to the Avalanche front. If you thought Bitcoin was tense, look at this. AVAX is currently trading at $12.13, sitting exactly on the floor of this beige consolidation box. This level has held for weeks. It is the last line of defense. Look at the basement. The stock RSI is dead flat at 4.00. It is extremely oversold. Normally, this suggests a bounce, but the price is heavy. It's not bouncing, it's crawling on the floor. This is dangerous. When price spends too much time on a support, the floor tends to crack. So support is $12, but will it hold? The answer depends on the crowd. If everyone is buying long right now expecting a bounce from $12, the market maker will likely break the floor to crush them. If everyone is shorting, then we might fly. I need to see the sentiment. Who is winning, the retail or the whales? Open the AVAX long/short ratio immediately. Let's see if the crowd is trapped. This data is your weapon. Look at the bottom chart. Binance long/short accounts. For weeks, this white line was high up at 2.6 to 3.0. That meant everyone was long. The train was too heavy. That is exactly why AVAX kept bleeding, to punish the greedy retail traders. But look at the far right. The ratio has crashed down to 1.87. What does this mean? It means the passengers are finally jumping off the train. Retail traders are panic selling and closing their longs right at the bottom. This is capitulation. When the crowd gives up on support, that is usually when the reversal happens. The heavy weight is gone. So Bitcoin is flushing leverage and AVAX retail is surrendering. The market is resetting. Now, we move to our final target, the silent assassin, Litecoin, LTC. This coin usually sleeps when the market is loud, but moves when no one expects it. Is it preparing a surprise attack while everyone looks at BTC? I need to see its structure. Send the Litecoin LTC price chart and the liquidation heatmap immediately. Finally, we arrive at the quiet front, Litecoin LTC. While everyone screams about Bitcoin, Litecoin is silently testing a massive structural support. Look at this white line I drew. It connects the lows perfectly, and right now we are sitting exactly on it at $68.08. But the real secret is in the basement. Look at the stock RSI at the bottom. I have circled these areas for you. Every time the blue and orange lines hit this bottom zone, Litecoin tends to bounce. We are there again. RSI is at 32, stock RSI is near 7. The spring is compressed. Technically, this is a high reward area, but only if Bitcoin stops bleeding. If BTC goes to $85,000, this white line will break. Conclusion: soldiers, the intelligence report is clear. Bitcoin, the trend is broken and the heatmap magnet is pulling us down to $84,000 to $85,000. Avalanche. Retail traders are capitulating, which is actually good news for a future bottom. Litecoin is sitting on the final support line, begging for a bounce. Your orders. Do not be a hero today. Let the market finish its flush. Let it hit that $85,000 magnet. When the dust settles and the green mountain of leverage is gone, we will strike. Until then, protect your capital. Dismissed. General out.